Hey guys, welcome back to Mike Griffith Garage. And so today we're going to take a break from the Toyota 2J project, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a wheel bearing on a Toyota Camry. Unlike a lot of vehicles, they have just a bolt-in hub assembly that has the ABS sensor and all that. You just unbolt it and take it out. This bad boy here is a pressed-in bearing. And I'm assuming if you're watching this that you need some tutorial on how to do it. So anyhow, it's pretty straightforward. I'll just go over everything with you and make this as quick as I can for you. So basically just take the tire off, pull the brake, caliper, rotor, all that off, and to get the backing plate off, I just took cutting dikes and cut the really thin part, folded the metal back, and then slid the backing plate off, and then I could just fold it back after I bolt it back on. After that, unbolt the strut, the ball joint, and the tie rod in, and off comes the spindle. Easy peasy. Okay, so now that we got the spindle out of there, the next thing to do is to remove the hub, which would be that center thing right there, which is actually the deal that the wheel bolts to. So once you press that out, and then once that's out of there, then we can flip this thing over, and there's a snap ring that holds the bearing into place. You can't get to it with the hub in the way, so I'm going to go ahead and press out the hub really quick. In case you're wondering what my setup is here, I just got some really heavy-duty I-beam that I bought from the steel store, and then I just shimmed this side up just to make it level, and I'm probably just going to take a big old, I don't know, 15/16 or 1-inch impact socket and stick it in there. Okay, so I got that stupid thing out of there. It didn't want to come out, so I took the cutting torch to it and heated it up, and then I finally put the press to it, and it finally popped loose. So anyhow, depending on how you're going to do this, as you can see, half of the bearing race comes out with a hub. Now I know, as loud as this son-of-a-bitch was, I'm just going to buy the kit that has the bearing and the hub together. If you want to reuse the hub, the thing you're going to want to look for is to make sure that this is happy right here. A lot of times if the bearing gets bad, it'll eat the material away. So when you press this all back together again, the bearing won't hold tight against this, and it'll continue to make noise. Alright, with that being said, on to this part. Now, I fibbed to you earlier when I said you got to flip it over to take the snap ring out. Actually, the snap ring is right there. Alright, so basically what I do on these is, I've been told it's not a good idea to heat this up, because this is a cast, this is a cast piece. So anyhow, what I did is just took a skinny wheel, and take it off the rest of the way here. Just took a skinny wheel, and cut the lip off, and then just basically gouged it out, and then I took a chisel and stuck it right in there, and once you wang this apart, it'll separate and loosen it up, and then you can just go doot, 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 and take it right off. Easy peasy. So the hub looks like it's in good shape, so I'll go buy a wheel bearing and press this sumbitch back together again. Alright, so I got the new bearing out of the box. Got everything set up here. I basically just set it on the I-beam, put the bearing in there, and I'm going to go ahead and press it in. And then we'll get the hub over here and press that in next. All right. That went just like it was supposed to. Okay, this is the important part. Is the inside of this bearing, it's got two halves. So when you push the bearing or push the hub through this way, it's imperative that you, well, here, I'll just show you. It'd be a lot easier for me to just show you. All So, okay, just see if I got that. Oh, here it is. So first of all, put a shim in there so you don't push the studs out through the. Here. So I put a shim in here, which is just an old bearing race, so I don't push the studs out. And then get that in there like that. So it's important to push on this and keep those two pieces together when you push this together, or else if you just try and push it with just this and just push this down, it'll pop the backside of this bearing out, and then things get complicated. Let's just put it that way. So it's really important to make sure to push this all together at the same time. And it's not the end of the day or a deal breaker to pop the backside out, but it just makes it more of a pain in the ass, and there's more risk of failure. It just overall just doesn't like it. All right, here we go. Cool. All right. Oops. All right, there we go. All pushed back together like it's supposed to be. I just got to put the little snap ring. Oops, I got to put the little snap ring on the back side here, and throw it back in the car. Well, now it's time to throw the snap ring in. This shouldn't be a terribly big deal, but now that I said that, of course it will be. That seems to be how this works. The kiss of death, as they would say. But I usually just get one side of it in and then just work it around. All right, now basically just reverse the procedure to put it back in the car. As a side note, I always like to take some anti-seize and throw it on the threads and the splines of the axle for future. You'll thank me if you do it now, because if you have to redo this again, trying to get this out of here is a lot easier with anti-seize on there. And other than that, should be pretty straightforward. Just slap her back together. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for watching the video. If you have a chance, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel out a lot if you could do that for me. And I hope the video was helpful for you. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.